Welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Hart, and with us today is Vinaya, and he is the Karmic Awareness Catalyst, a spiritual advisor with an ability to receive psychic information, which he uses to help you move forward in life. What he does is to help you to understand the energetic outcome of your options in life so that you can make better and more informed choices. Welcome to the show. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So let's start with your story. How did you get where you're at?
That's a crazy story for sure. I grew up in Germany and really tried hard for 18, 19 years to be a German and fit. At the same time, I always knew, no, this is not it. This is not my life. And at about 20, I finally decided, okay, I'm done. This doesn't work for me. And I went overland to India. I had a heart feeling of like an intuition. I need to go to India to find whatever I was looking for. So I traveled overland and stayed almost 10 years in India, met various masters and got introduced into meditation. I'm 70 years old. When I was young, that word didn't even exist. So that was like a new experience as well. And then I stayed with one master and really started to work on myself and becoming free, releasing all these programs I got when I grew up in Germany, which we all get. We get a program. And finally really realized who I am. And that was an amazing adventure. And parallel to that, since I was 16 years old, a crystal freak. I just fell in love with crystals and it was just my love. And at the same time, I also always had a different vision. I was always seeing behind the scene when things are happening and what. And then combined with learning tarot, eventually I came to really realize my gift, which is with the help of crystals to see where the person is at, to get messages from their being, so to speak. I still don't quite know how it works, but I know it works. I do this for over 30 years now. And what comes out is their gifts, their challenges, how to empower themselves to be themselves and to find that out more. And about, also like 25 years ago, I started coaching people with the help of a reading. That's what I said before, that's a reading, a crystal reading. And then I use readings at the beginning of a course to see where is the person at, what are the meditations or awareness exercises or what is needed for that person right now to be on the path and finding themselves a little bit more. And after living so long, I'm 70 again, and partied all, traveled all, did everything you can do up to the wazoo. About 15 years ago, it was really clear the only thing left to do is help people to be in the same or similar space I am in, which is basically a fantastic life, adventure on planet Earth, no worries, no problems. Sometimes I make myself one, but then I become aware of it and no need, because everything is fantastic. And I live myself, no matter what the outside tells me to do. Doesn't work. Because once you find yourself, there is no going back. This is who I am. And we are all different. So there is no problem if I'm not like this or like that, or achieve like this, achieve this or achieve that, or become somebody. The only important person to become is myself, however that looks. And my passion now for the last X amount of years, I'm not so sure, is to help people reach that point so that we can all live in harmony. This is your life, great. This is my life, great. And we still can live together and enjoy this adventure on Earth.
It makes the world so much richer when we're all just allowed to be who we are and not try to force ourselves to fall into the box or conform to what we were programmed to think that we had to do. I'm finding as I'm not a spring chicken either. I'm turning 65 this year. So
All right.
it's the process of helping people get to the state of feeling empowered faster. And I think if we can do that with the generations that are coming up, it's like how much richer this world will be.
Would be now it's already amazing when I look around nature and what humans achieved and all of that is like, wow.
Mhm.
When we get into the space where we really can live together, no matter the differences, by finding ourselves, accepting ourselves, and therefore also accepting the others. All good. We will have an amazing planet. It's so rich, it's so abundant, it's so versatile. It's just amazing. Yeah, yeah.
John Lennon wrote a song in the 70s. I'm sure you remember it, the I Imagine song. I
Yes, and so
recently I recently went back and looked at those lyrics and they hit me so hard. It's like that's the world that I'm looking for. The one where there are no borders and there's no reason for fighting, and because you don't have to, and it's not so much about not having possessions as recognizing that things are just things. They don't define you. You could just like hold them loosely, let them move around. Let other people have experiences with them. It's just like it's all energy, and it's all for our entertainment. It's not.
as being oneself actually is, there's a certain challenge in it when one is just still and present. It's like the mind wants to do something. And we don't need anything, but the mind makes us wanting something which we don't have. And yeah, getting out of that hamster wheel, going round and round and round and round, is a choice we all have, but we need to make the choice. We need to become aware that what I've done so far, maybe it was fun, and there's still something missing here. This is not really who I am and what I want to do. And then we need to take the courage to step out of the box, which is another story. I understand through experience and feedback from people that the real key to this door is awareness. So once I become aware that so far, not really what I wanted, when I'm aware of that, then I can take the courage to go into the unknown and find out what else is there. And I did that when I was 21 or 20, because there must have been something else. And it's an amazing journey.
It is an amazing journey. So how do you help people? Are you a coach in the traditional way? Do you do one-on-one work? Do you do
One
groups?
work as a coach and tradition, no. What I'm happy to say is that Vinaya, me, I don't know anything. I hardly know what's good for me. I mean, I do, but it was a challenge to get there and actually listen
Mm.
to that voice. How would I on earth know something about you? There is no way. So I have a meditation, short little exercise where I, Vinaya, steps aside and I let the other person talk. Well, they're not talking, I talk, but there's a connection. We connect energetically before. And then I find out what is important from that person itself, from its higher self, or the message come from existence. I really don't know. I just know it works like a charm and it's always right. It always blows me away because my mind doesn't understand it. And sometimes also goes like, hey, you can't say that. And it needs to be said. So it comes out and I always have the reaction of like, yeah, wow. So we look where you're at, and then what comes is what kind of exercises, what kind of meditations, awareness helps um, to what that person needs to move on. And then we check in. That's like a twice a week connection, and then we check in. Then next week we have a short reading again, see where we're at, see what's needed, and that goes on between, depends on the person what they really want, how far they want to go, between 4 and 8 weeks. And the results are amazing. It's because it doesn't come from me. That's the key I found. It's like I don't know anything, but you know, not necessarily conscious, but your being knows, and that speaks. And it's wonderful to experience people starting to glow and find happiness and have a better relation with their fellow people and the whole 9 yards what we are striving for, to be ourselves.
So
And
would you
that's
say awareness comes first or meditation? And how do those two really intersect?
okay. Awareness comes first. Like I say, I need to know that I'm miserable and that I want to get out of it. I can have the decision or take the decision to say, no, I like my misery. It's known and I want to stay in there.
There are
Great.
some people that do choose that too.
That's your choice, and that's absolutely fine with me. So when you make the decision to become more aware, then meditation, and I need to explain a little bit about that, is the way. And all the masters through the ages, they always point out meditate, meditate, meditate. But what does it really mean? Meditation, the state of meditation, of isness, is absolute stillness. There is nothing happening. And around us, everything is happening. But we are in a space of absolute stillness. And all the meditations we got from our masters through the ages are kind of tools to fake it till you make it. They have different variations of exercises or trying to be still and observing and this and that. But the thing is, we're still doing something. But it's like this fake it till we suddenly have that experience of being, of being. And yes, the thoughts are there, the feelings are there, the body is there, the circus around us is there, but we are the observer. And in that space, nothing happens. It's just an observation. And I'm not the body, mind, or feelings or anything. I'm just an observer. And that gives an enormous amount of freedom. It just suddenly everything changes once I experience that. And then I can use it anytime when I remember. And it's actually very simple exercise. When I'm becoming aware, and there's awareness again, when I become aware that I'm sitting in Peru right now, but actually I'm in Japan in my mind, and I'm totally in that thing. I become aware of that. Then I just become conscious of my breath, how it goes in and out. I'm instantly out of the mind. I'm instantly present. And then I can respond from that space and be present and observe and be in absolute stillness. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And it brings up a question that I sometimes think about in terms of I've traveled extensively when I was younger. And so I'm often like, part of me is like, yeah, I want to go do this again. But part of me is like, well, you don't actually have to go there. You can just be there. And, you know, it saves wear and tear on making your arrangements and stuff. I mean, you can through meditation do and be anything you want and in the moment. It,
Yes, you can. And I love to go a little bit deeper. When I do something in meditation, imagine something. I'm doing something. I'm not the observer.
right.
And if I want to do something, it comes out of this space of stillness. Because I don't have any idea where I'm going, what I'm doing, how long, or anything. I'm
Mhm.
still traveling around the world. I'm 2 years there, 5 years there, and then, just let's see where the wind brings me. What it does when Vinaya is not doing something, he wants to go to, he wants to go to Spain, right? Yes, I can do that, and I create that. And only when it comes out of awareness and not out of my mind for some desire. And then suddenly I have no more goals. Nothing is needed. There's nothing to achieve except just to live in the moment. And then the flow happens. So I'm not necessarily listening to my mind. Sometimes I fall in the trap, no worries about that. But then I become aware again. Boom, I'm out of my mind. And then I feel, is that really what feels good that I'm going to Spain right now? So I ask my heart, I am in Spain right now. How does that feel? And I get a feeling. And I act or respond to that feeling. And then let my mind figure out how to do it.
Yes. Do you ever get to the point where it's just like it's enough that your heart's feeling those feels at the moment where you don't actually have to do the thing?
I can always have to, yes, I can always decide, no, I'm not listening. Yeah. And I learned, like when I started off to India, it was my heart. You go to India now. Even though arguments were like gazillions against it. You need to work when you're old, what you're going to do, and all this good stuff. And it was like, well, I figure out when I'm old what I'm going to do. Right now, I go to India. And I've always followed my heart. Not always, most of the time. And learned if I do not follow, things happen which are not necessarily in my highest good. I break my arm, or I have an accident, or I'm with my bike in town and the key is in my house like 20 miles away because I didn't listen to this instinct, this feeling, this gut feeling, because that is always right. That's my experience for the last 50 years of listening. And then sometimes not listening.
Hey all, I'm Jill Hart. We all know that legal matters can be costly and stressful. Finding the right representation and dealing with high retainers and hourly bills adds up fast. But what if I told you there was a way to have legal insurance, just like your health or auto insurance? Well, Legal Shield has leveled that playing field. From just $29.95 a month, you get access to lawyers for personal legal matters, from traffic tickets to real estate issues or even trust matters. Help is just a tap away on your phone. Call or text 435-764-0875 and use the code JillLegal or start your journey to legal protection today.
And then falling on the nose and like, oh yeah, you knew, but you were stubborn. So all the actions are coming out of, not out of our mind, but out of our heart, out of our gut feeling. I don't know if that answered your question, but that's where it kind of led to, because really the aim is to be present without any desire. Yeah,
I think that's where I was getting at, is the being present in the moment and not having, we all have desires about things that, you know, our brain says, hey, that might be a good idea, or that might be fun, like going to Spain, that might be fun. And you sit with it. That my own experience with meditation is that I can actually have that experience of being in Spain without actually having to go to Spain. And
yes.
Sometimes that's enough for me. It's like, I don't know that I want to do all of the things that my brain is going to tell me I have to do in order to make that a physical 3D experience for me.
Yeah.
I could just enjoy the experience that I can have in the present moment of being there and knowing what that would be.
Yes. It's interesting because I never had the desire to be in my mind somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the reason is that there is so much right now where I'm at. I don't need to go anywhere else. So this desire from my mind never really came up. Yeah, not that I remember or held on to it. It's like every day, once or twice, sometimes more often, I just pause and see what's amazingly amazing is around me and all what I have. Specifically, I'm alive and I can experience this. It's such a fulfillment and so much gratefulness that there's nothing else needed. And if I will figure that out at the point when something else seems to be needed, but it has to come from my intuition or my heart and not my mind.
That makes total sense to me. Yeah. So why is it better to listen to our intuition than to listen to what our brain's telling us, or what other people are telling us, which is more commonly the experience that we have? And how do you do that? How do you just sit and hear from your intuition?
Okay. So the first part was, how do I get out of this mindset, right?
Yeah, more like, how do you listen to your intuition and how?
Okay. Well, for once, the understanding came that the mind only works from the past. If I have not been to Spain, the mind has no clue whatsoever how and whatever is going to happen or how that is. It always works from the past.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I listen to it? Because it doesn't know. The mind is really great for repairing a car or figuring out how to make the money practically, once my heart tells me this is my job, to get there and to do what I want to do. So that understanding was like also key for me. And then it's 50 years of experience of listening to my heart, and I have an enormously fantastic life with gazillions of adventures. Like, I would have never ever dreamt to have a life like this when I was young. It's like, wow. And that's following my intuition. So once I learn to trust that, I don't really have a choice. And the challenge sometimes is, or often is, like, what is my heart saying? Or how do I perceive it? And yes, we are all different. Some people hear, some people see, some people feel. There's always different ways how our intuition, how our heart, our higher being communicates with us. And what I learned is the very, very first thing which comes. And a split second later, the mind is there. But one needs to learn to, for me, it's like certain taste of the thought, kind of like a certain energy where I know it's not my mind, I know it's my knowing, my being telling me to do this or that. It's a practice. And what might be helpful is also to practice it in a certain way, which I actually love. So you want to have a coffee. The mind says, oh, let's have a coffee or a chocolate or whatever. So, okay, I close my eyes, I breathe, become conscious how my breath goes in and out. Heart, I'm having a coffee right now. How does that feel? And I get a feeling. Heart, I'm in Spain right now. How does that feel? I get a feeling and I act accordingly. And I've heard scientifically that the heart, for some reason, has the ability to go into the quantum field of possibilities, where I am actually in Spain right now, and brings back the feeling of that experience. So it's a little bit of a remembrance process. Whoops. Oh, my light went down.
Totally unexpected experience.
Oh, I'm so dark. Oh. And what just comes is like also like with all these things, it is very helpful not to take anything serious because it's not. It's a cosmic joke what we are doing here. And if we can laugh at ourselves and what's going on around us, makes it so much more palatable. Palatable?
Palatable.
Palatable. Than totally being influenced, staying in our center. And it's not serious. Doesn't matter if I get to Spain tomorrow or in 2 weeks, I know I'm going. You know, or I know I need to leave Ecuador. We lived there for 9 years. It was clear it's done. No clue where to go. Looking with the mind at different possibilities didn't give an answer. So what I do is, okay, I only know I want to leave. I have no clue where, so I'm just waiting and having a good time. And then someday suddenly, ooh, Costa Rica. So that's it. It's actually easy, but not taking it seriously. There's like, for me at least, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to achieve except just to be and celebrate this amazing adventure. And seeing people stepping into that space is bliss for me. And that's why I'm doing crystal readings and help with coaching.
I like that a lot. I think it's a part of the experience of being present allows you to opens up an awareness factor that, and I know I recognize it all starts with awareness, but being present and looking at what's happening around you and being detached from it a little bit allows you to recognize things that if you're really busy all the time and you don't take that time, you miss.
Yes.
It's like you can't just think that I don't want to live in Ecuador anymore, and then you start on your mind does all the things like, oh, so we need to get all organized and figure out where we're going to go and how we're going to do it and all those pieces. That's the normal, I say with quotes, method. But if you can allow yourself to just be present, knowing that, okay, our time here is done. This is coming to a close. I'm curious. I wonder what the universe has in store for me, and just be open to allowing it to present itself.
Yes.
And then if it my philosophy has always been, if it comes easy, it was meant to be. If I have to push the snowball up the hill,
Not happening.
I just need to walk away, because that's not what's supposed to be happening for me.
Yes.
And I've pushed a lot of snowballs up the hills. It's not fun. They just get harder and harder as you get closer to the top. It's like, I'm telling you, you're not supposed to be doing this. Get the message. But
Yeah.
if just being present.
Yes. Yes. And we will find out when we get to the top. Shit.
Hate this.
Yeah. Right. That can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So like the whole existence here just revolves around awareness, presence, and non detachment. I'm not angry. There's anger. I'm observing it. There's pain, but I'm not in pain because I can observe it. So I have to be outside that. I have to be separate from it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see it. So absolute freedom. And we all can reach there. It just takes a little bit of courage and awareness that, yeah, maybe it's time to find something else because this didn't do it.
And getting help really can shorten that learning curve. And talking to somebody like you who has been on the journey and knows the ins and outs and knows where your mind's going to be like, no, don't do that. Because our minds do that to us, especially when you're first starting out on this path. It's like, I remember when I first started meditating, which honestly wasn't all that long ago, but 3 minutes was just like, no, I can't sit here for 3 minutes. It would be a minute and a half. And I'm thinking, are we done yet? And now I can sit down and, an hour and a half goes by and I'm like, oh,
What happened?
feels like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And with this awareness exercise and like meditating, like I'm not a very, actually, I'm absolutely not disciplined. And I never actually managed to do a 1 hour or hour and a half meditation every day for 10 or 15 years. I did some courses where it was like a week or 3 weeks where every day there was a meditation. Besides that, this awareness exercise of just becoming present with my breath, I can do anywhere. In the bathroom, cooking, walking, in the bus. I just can always just drop in and be in meditation. And
It comes from practicing in the beginning and understanding, because it takes a minute to figure out what that feeling is. And it really is more of a feeling than anything else, to be present. And that is, to me, in itself, the meditation.
yes,
It's like that point.
yes, exactly. It's like all this other stuff is great. And it's a tool which says fake it till you make it. Because at one point, wow, this is it. And then we know how it tastes, and then we can step back into the space anytime we become aware that we are not in that space.
Mhm. Yep.
And that goes faster and faster and stays longer and longer. And yeah.
And your life is more and more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Stop trying to control everything.
It's like, relax, you are not in control. Yeah.
And you don't have to be. It's going to turn out however
Yes,
it's going to turn out, and it could be exciting.
it
It
is
will be
exciting.
exciting.
It is exciting when we're present, and because like also like suddenly things are happening where you're like, whoa, I never expected that. And it's really amazing. And it's like, whoa. And maybe one thing which might help people is, okay, out of my experience, I tried really hard to make sense out of life and understand this. And at one point, I just gave up because my mind can't go there. And then I heard this is a quote from Osho: life does not need to be understood. It is a mystery. It needs to be lived. And that again also gave an enormous amount of relaxations. I don't need to understand why I'm breaking my leg. I only know I have a broken leg. Finish story. And then I move on or let move on. But I don't need to understand it. And I can't. I mean,
There's no purpose to understanding it.
besides that, yes, there's no purpose to it because we still don't live it because we're so in our mind trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Whereas, like, there's no way. People tried for like what, 500,000 years to figure that out. No answer. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And yeah, go for it.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying that my prayer is that all of us can step into this kind of space and beingness and being themselves. Yes.
So how do people get in touch with you to learn how to work with you or to experience what you teach? How does that look?
Basically, go to my website, read about me. You heard a lot about me right now, anyways. Book a session, either a reading or a coaching program. Whereas I would say first a reading would be beneficial. See what we can do, if we can do something, because not that often, but it happens that I have to say, well, first you need to do blah, 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 like trauma release, for example, is a big one. Because we all have big traumas, and sometimes it's so severe that I have to say, first work on that before you can go on. Yeah, and then we go from there. So my website is a good way to connect with me, and I have a Facebook page and what's that called? Instagram, which I'm pretty lazy on it anyways. And yeah, that would be the easiest way.
This has been an amazing conversation. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. What's the one thing that you hope the audience takes away from our conversation today?
Yeah, and the courage or the knowing that if this dude from Germany 50 years ago started on a journey and can do it, I can do it. So,
And it's
yeah,
never too late to start.
no, definitely not. Because it
Thanks
can
for
also,
joining.
in a second, it can take years, and it can take just being like one exercise and suddenly like, whoa. So it depends on you. And I hope I see you.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the U World Order or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.